My name is Brian Dakers. I'm the lead organiser of the reception for the party from Durban and the wider South Africa that are visiting Newcastle in the northeast of England from the 5th until the 7th of June. One of the things that we did was to pick interesting venues and things that we thought give a little bit of a flavour of Newcastle and the wider northeast England region. So we're here today at the castle, which is the castle that gives Newcastle its name.
My name is Mayor Zandile Komete, the Mayor of eThekwini Municipality in Durban. Ourselves as eThekwini in Durban, we are sister cities with Newcastle. As you know that in KZN there's an area called Newcastle. Now we decided to partner with them because we are having similarities in weather and in politics and also how we do things.
I'm James Ramsbotham and I'm Chief Executive of the North East England Chamber of Commerce. And international trade to us is huge and we're always reaching out to key parts of the world. And we, 4 years ago, really looked and said, well, Southern Africa is such a vast opportunity for us, but where is the logical place to start? And to us it has to be a port. And so reaching to Durban was the obvious gateway to us.
My name is Russell Curtis and I run Invest Durban for eThekwini Municipality. We share a lot of similarities with the Northern Powerhouse, whether that be port and maritime and logistics infrastructure, road and rail history, right the way through to manufacturing automotives. So we want to build on that common heritage and common history and continue to expand not only the intergovernment relationships, but also some of the economic learnings.
My name is Phumi Motsohaye. I'm the Chief Executive Officer for the Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone. Remember what northeast of England entails. It's called Newcastle. Newcastle has a long established heritage as a coal mining town, but it's evolved through their coal mining history into establishing itself into the boat building, maritime and energy development node of the northeast of England. That resonates very strongly with us in Richards Bay in that there is a major gas and maritime development programs that are underway.
My name is Richard Swart, born and bred in Durban, South Africa. Arrived in the UK in 1988. My day job is Global Sales Director and Quality Director for a German-owned stock-listed multinational called the Berger Group Europe. In approximately 2012, there was a visit to the Northeast by the then High Commissioner in the South African High Commissioner in the UK, and I was called in as a South African connected businessman, and we then decided that we wanted to do more. Durban has a range of opportunities. I mean, tourism is an obvious one, and that's underlined by the fact that British Airways announced 2 or 3 weeks ago direct flights from Heathrow to Durban. There's infrastructure projects, property development, there's housing projects, there's possible mining opportunities, there's port development, that means infrastructure, there's socio-economic opportunities.
KZN is one of the key provinces in the economy of South Africa in terms of GDP contribution. The estimated real GDP generated by the province amounted up to approximately 455.7 billion rand in 2017, making KZN the second largest contributor to the economy of the country at 16%.
Remember, Durban is well known within South Africa and in the whole world because of its warm sea, warm people, good food, beautiful hotels.
eThekwini is a city that is changing, it's growing, and it's been rated the best by different types of research companies like MESA. And we see this as an opportunity for people here in Britain to come down and invest in this city.
I'm Moses Tembe. I'm the co-chair of the KZN Growth Coalition and an entrepreneur who's based in South Africa.
Where is the biggest business opportunity
in South Africa, I want to tell you that it's Durban. The biggest opportunity is in Durban. The cost of entry into the business is in Durban. The returns on your investments are phenomenal.
What Durban has to sell is a number of key flagship projects. The city of Durban has more tower cranes at the moment than we've had in the last 20 years plus. We have a range of catalytic projects, and those catalytic projects are from manufacturing to tourism assets through to industrial and logistics assets. And these investments are significant.
Being British, I've got a very kind of unusual view perhaps on Durban. I am constantly amazed by the city, the infrastructure, the support of the city and the different things that the city have put in place, having worked in Cape Town. In 2017, there was a world study done on, by an independent company on Airbnb properties. Love them or hate them. I know they're very controversial. And they looked at all the different cities in the world and they worked out which city would you get your capital investment on that residential property back the fastest. Number 1 in the world is Durban.
My name is Ben Houchin. I'm the newly elected Mayor of the Tees Valley. I was elected 12 months ago, the first ever time this position has existed, and I'm here to really promote and instill economic growth, job creation in the Tees Valley. That's my whole driver, and I'm really pleased today to be able to host a delegation from Durban, including the Mayor and government ministers and local government officials, to be able to start to build a relationship with Durban, the city, its businesses, and also with its government officials to see where we can attract South African business to the UK, but also where we can send UK business and build those relationships in Durban as well.
I'm Andrew Sulu. I'm a Member of Parliament and the British Prime Minister's Trade Envoy to South Africa. I'm here because we have a very important business and political delegation from KwaZulu-Natal and Durban visiting Newcastle today and the rest of the UK in order to promote trade and investment between the United Kingdom and South Africa. We've already got very good trading links, but I'm very ambitious to see those grow, and I think there's huge potential for us to do a lot more together. Well, we're looking across a range, really, from agri-tech. We're looking at how we can help with the ocean economy. There are security investments, which we're looking at as well. There are mining opportunities. So across the range of the South African and the UK economies, there's huge potential.
My name is Philip Sithole. I'm the Deputy City Manager of the City of Durban. We have brought the 12 investors with us who are here to try and forge partnerships between their projects and potential investors here in Newcastle. The amount of projects that we are promoting here, they are close to 100 billion rands. So it's about 6 billion British pounds worth of investments back in the city of Durban.
We think that there's a huge opportunity for businesses both in Durban and here to do so much more work together in all sorts of ways. I think we're helping advance certain technologies that we can help with in Durban with, but there are also so many things that are being done in Durban that we can benefit from. And I just believe that both business communities can work together. We should be investing in each other's economies, we should be learning from each other, and we should be trading together.
There's been a range of different outcomes, and some outcomes are, of course, difficult to measure. But certainly what we've seen from day one, we've seen business-to-business meetings prior to the reception on the Monday evening. We've seen a very significant meeting yesterday between the elected mayor of Tees Valley and the mayor of Durban, and very clearly, there's a very clearly tangible bond between the mayors and the issues. And the Tees Valley mayor is committed to following up and probably visiting in the next few months, because Tees Valley, having a large port, has a lot in common with Durban as a port. And we have several significant companies in the northeast who have identified South Africa as one of the 8 or 9 countries of interest to export to with their particular products. And they were one of the several meetings on Monday underlined that.
So some of the outcomes of the meeting is the engagements with the various mayors and the various leaders, having to tour some of the industrial and port facilities and exchange some learnings, because we feel that we can learn from each other. And then some of the exposure to the great history. You know, it can't all just be work, work, work. There needs to be some play and some enjoyment. And celebrating our arts and our culture and our historical arrangements, whether that be from Archie Sabeko through to some of the modern day ambassadors and diplomats, reconnecting ties.
I'm Sipho Kaunda, the chairperson of the Economic Development and Planning in eThekwini Municipality. People in the other part of the world, they've been adapting on the certain environmental or certain conditions or weather. So therefore, we will be able to learn a lot from them as well. So another thing that we've also learned in our Newcastle trip was the issue of technology in terms of various areas. And we felt that as we approach the 4th industrial revolution in terms of everything digitalized, so it's important that we also partner with those people who have those expertise and able to meet the challenges of the 4th industrial revolution.
My name is Bernadette Khumalo. I am the CEO of Rockwell Civils, and that represents Keystone Logistics Park, which is the biggest logistic park in Durban right now. Yes, there were deals that were formed there. I just spoke to the councillor of Durban right now. Because of our visit, he is coming to South Africa and to visit South Africa to see what they can do together, and we will obviously take him over to our Keystone Park so he can understand where, if there's a partnership between the municipality and the developer, what could happen.
We saw a number of opportunities, especially in Newcastle. You won't believe it. People are saying from an economic point of view, things have not been so good there. It is for that reason that we felt that there were huge opportunities for investments there around the ports, and huge opportunities in terms of the exchange in the area of technology and various other opportunities.
My name is Neville Maiki. I'm the acting CEO for Trade and Investment KwaZulu-Natal. The northern part of England is an area we have not really tapped into. As a result, it became a primary market for us to investigate and to see how we can then collaborate and link some of our companies with that market. We discovered a lot of opportunities from a commodity perspective that we could tap into, and also some partnerships that we were able to investigate further for some of our companies or some of our project promoters that have opportunities within KwaZulu-Natal.
The Durban-London Investment Day is one of the highlights of this UK investment mission. We've come here with the delegation to meet business leadership here in London. We have pre-arranged more than 65 business-to-business meetings here in the City of London at this great hotel to partner some of those catalytic projects and flagship projects, and even our sporting club like AmaZulu, with some of the excellence in business and in sport here across London.
The Richards Bay Industrial Development Zone is a KwaZulu-Natal provincial state-owned company or state-owned entity, and its primary purpose is to drive foreign direct investment by attracting manufacturing enterprises primarily to locate in the estate. And the whole premise of it is a government strategy of inducing economic development in the nominated area. And in this particular case, we're talking about Northern Zululand, using the anchor point of the Port of Richards Bay, and therefore establish a commercial industrial platform. And we've managed successfully to bring the IDZ on stream. And what's been encouraging has been the evolution of the whole industrialization program premised on the Special Economic Zones program. where now a set of incentives has been packaged.
I'm Solly Pillay. I'm one of the development managers for the Oceans Development in Umhlanga in Durban. And the project that we're doing is the Oceans Umhlanga, which is a mixed-use development, which comprises the hotel component, which will be a Radisson Blu hotel, and 2 towers of residential units and apartments, which at this point is probably about 90% sold, and a very high-end mall. Relative to the hard currency, the prices that our units are going for are pretty low. For instance, we are marketing the penthouse units in the development, which has panoramic sea views. The penthouse units, the 4-bedroom unit, which is about 340-odd square meters, is going for £2.5 million, an equivalent of almost £2.5 million. And you can't buy an apartment in London for £2.5 million. And the rest of the penthouses are under £1 million, and that is right on the top of the building. So I think from that price perspective, it's a very attractive investment for individuals who are wanting to perhaps visit or live in South Africa for parts of the year, and also as an investment.
Obviously, United Kingdom investors, follow what's happening in South Africa in terms of the land issues and the mining charter. I see no reason why those issues can't be resolved. In fact, I'm confident that they will be, because President Ramaphosa has been ambitious in seeking $100 billion of investment in South Africa over the next 5 years. And he will know as well as anyone that that is not going to happen unless the conditions are right for international investors to come in and they feel they can come in and invest with confidence.
There were certain issues, such as the issue of black economic empowerment, which we were able to address. It's purely, they were addressing it from having heard from other people and not having investigated it themselves. And for us to be able to then orientate them correctly on the importance of ensuring geographical spread and economic spread from an empowerment perspective. So that was the only issue.
Coming through to other issues such as the land issues, again, that's about making sure that we have full participation of our local players and our local communities in land ownership and in partnering in that value development of our land issues.
The visit of the new president recently into London has certainly injected a greater optimism in South Africa and has highlighted perhaps the greater potential that exists for investment in South Africa. It's a different political climate now, and I think that has been demonstrated through his visit. And commensurate with that, I can see that the appetite here is beginning to increase. The confidence in South Africa as an investment destination is beginning to increase. And that certainly augurs well for this delegation, the Invest Durban delegation.
Martin Orji from Next Rubica Capital. We are a investment firm that does corporate finance, structuring, origination, infrastructure, funding, and mergers and acquisitions out of London, Johannesburg, Lagos. This is timely. The conference is timely. The meetings are timely. I think they've actually done in terms of a selection of the kind of institutions that investors need to see coming out of KZN in South Africa, and because that's really important. And I think that those who they've selected have been quite, should I say, informed about what investors like ourselves want to hear and need to see. Which has made everybody's life a little bit easier in terms of the discussions about moving forward on potential transactions.
My name is Tembega Mamba. I am an investment professional. I work with a boutique investment bank that focuses on energy and infrastructure. We do a lot of capital raises, but in general I feel like the suite of projects that were brought through by the municipality and the various developers look interesting and are of sizable value, and I feel that as an organization we could as an advisory organisation, we could add a lot of value in sort of helping raise capital for some of them.
What has fascinated me has been the phenomenal positive response from the London funding community that is keen to get into South Africa. So if there's a offtake that we managed to derive out of the visit, it's the ability to, first of all, expose who we are as KwaZulu-Natal as a province, but more pertinently, in terms of Richards Bay as a place where investment could be married with funding opportunities.
And we have been able to demonstrate that Durban presents investment opportunities in the sense that the low entry to business is phenomenal. The low cost of investment there is phenomenal. The returns are quite phenomenal. You've had people here who have been telling us that a 12–15% return on property is unheard of. In KZN, in Durban in particular, downtown, that is the norm. Back to London here, that's where we met a number of investors. We presented huge projects that run into billions of rands. There's been huge interest on the part of the business people here in the UK to invest in KZN, and we look forward to receiving them back home.
Our kind of investment potential doesn't happen in a day, obviously, but I think we've succeeded in creating the appetite and convincing people that there lies a great potential for investment and return on investment. And it's a process that has been started now by the interaction with the people here, and certainly from the people that we've met so far, there's going to be the next stage of interaction, and hopefully the relationship will develop to a point where there will be investment in our country, in Durban, as well as a combination perhaps of capital injection through whatever form, whether it's equity or whether it's loan capital or it's providing funding.
Well, I'm Professor Mullard. I chair a company called LEAP, which stands for the Ladybird Economic Advancement Partnership. And it is a company which is specialising in waste to energy. And we started working on a project in the municipality of eThekwini some 3 years ago. At the moment, we've completed a feasibility study. We've had the support of the local municipality. We're undergoing at the moment more negotiations with the municipality to move it to the next stage now that our feasibility study has been completed, which shows that the whole project is economically viable. And on top of that, we have attracted a very significant investor out, and he's with me, so I could actually introduce him to people. So there's something really tangible. You know, there's money on the table here for an investment into this project. We've got something like 350 million US on the table for the investment.
We've managed to establish partnerships. It's going to be an evolutionary process as we strengthen the partnerships, as we strengthen the association. What has been triggered, of course, has been the exposure to what Richards Bay presents. The follow-on process is to then go to the fine-tooth comb of the deals and the details of where the funding opportunities are, how much you trigger in terms of the funding spectrum that is required. So in terms of the deals, yes, they're in the offing, and in the passage of time, they're going to be firmed up and finalized.
London has been very good. It's been very successful in the sense that we had pre-arranged meetings, and the bulk of the pre-arranged meetings were either funders who were looking at projects and opportunities to fund within our region, and some of the potential investors, people looking at property development, looking at the pharmaceutical industry, looking at also purchasing product from KwaZulu-Natal to come into the UK market.
My name is Themba Ndwana. I'm a director of Invest Trade SA. Most of the projects were very good quality, very they looked viable and investable projects. What happens next is that we are going to assess the project. We are going to have a chat with our investment clients or investors, and then they will assess. Once they've assessed the ones that they are interested in, we'll then be in contact with the project owners and hopefully kickstart the conversation for investment.
We've had a delegation from also another public entity from the province, Trade and Investment KZN, to cement our relationship with British Airways.
This investment mission that we have created for business to business and government to government engagements have concluded more than 65 back-to-back meetings that have been taking place today. That is a new record for us, and we have ensured that there are available linkages from the new foreign investment which will now flow into our local economy.
Takeaway for me is that people that we met, they are all positive about Durban. Some of them didn't know the place, but because of the incentive schemes and rates rebate policies that we have, and strong, good governance, which is in compliance with international rating agencies, they all left with a positive mind, and they all want to be, in one way or the other, either to invest in Durban or be the ambassadors of Durban and encourage people to consider Durban when they think about new destinations that they want to invest in.